formal mentoring programs, informal relationships, and hosting students at this Kansas City headquarters. In 2013, he was awarded the Outstanding Alumni Award in recognition of his consistent mentorship of SHP students. And if that weren't enough, we recently established the Tim and Rosemary Hogan Endowed Scholarship for Respiratory Therapy to provide financial support for students in the respiratory therapy program. We're grateful for all he has done for SHP and Mizzou, and I'm honored to introduce Michael Carr. Well, I'm standing backstage, and I told him I feel like a common sparrow. I feel the peacocks over here. Boy, I gotta study more. 30 years ago, my roommates and I had a problem. See, we'd been down in the library studying. You guys know the one, Harpo's. We'd been studying hard enough, we knew we should drive home. Back then, just like today, you gotta play it safe. But it isn't like it is for you guys. You can't get on your cell phone and call a friend and have them come get you, because those services didn't exist. Believe it or not, neither did cell phones. It was the dark ages. So what do? Well, we need to get home. It's getting late. So we did what all good college students do. We sat down, thought about the problem, and came up with a solution. We walked down to Domino's Pizza, we ordered a pizza to our house, we hitchhiked home, arrived safely and well-fed, 30 minutes or less, guaranteed. College mind at work, right? Now, for the people in the upper audience who didn't understand the story, Harpo's is not the library, Harpo's is a bar. And for the one student who's been cashing checks down there for the last 4 years and told your parents it was a grocery store, cat's out of the bag. So, and see, you didn't think anything to talk to about at the party tonight, right? But I've been accused of having too much fun. I'm probably guilty of that. Shame on me. But the dean talked to me about a year ago. He said, "Mike, would you come down and talk to 800 of the world's future leaders?" Well, of course, I jumped at the chance. But then I realized I had to come up with a message that was bigger than today. A message that will last you your lifetime. A message that, if I do it right, may ultimately become the most important message you'll ever hear. It's the story behind the scholarship that my wife and I did here. And so I will let you a little bit into the mindset of what was going on in my head at the time. So that being said, I'm going to put the dots on the page. I'm going to let you guys connect them any way you want. Hopefully you draw the picture I want you to draw. If you do, I've done my job and they'll have you back. If not, well, if somebody draws anything really weird, come see me before you get out of here. We've got to get you straightened out. But for the rest of you, it's Truman the Tiger. Today's message is about giving back. See, we're all on what I call the yardstick of life. Some of us are over here near the end. Time's short, fleeting. Some of us are here in the middle. I hope that's me. Your parents are probably here with me. You guys, when you're back here, and somewhere in the audience today, there's a young man, young woman just starting down that path. What I give for more time. But see if anything happens to you when you get about halfway. You're walking along, it's a beautiful day, unlike today. Sun's in your face, wind's in your hair, they don't make it any better. But see, on this day, it's different, because on this day you stop, you pause for a moment, and you turn. You say, well, there's a shadow back there. You start to understand that that's the shadow of your life and the effect that it's had on other people. You start to worry about that shadow. Is it big enough? Did it touch enough people? Did you do it the right way? What about the people on the edge? Could you have worked harder? You start to notice that the road ahead of you is getting just a little bit shorter than the road behind you. Finally, you start to wonder how you're going to be remembered. What is your legacy? Now, I can't tell you this story without telling you the story of the most wonderful person in my life. She's sitting up there. I married that girl 26 years ago. My wife is a doctor. She's a physician. She takes care of the weakest of the weak on this planet. Little premature babies, all that weigh the same as 4 sticks of butter. But see, it almost didn't happen. Now, this is America. You be anything you want in America. As long as you work hard every day and you work smart. But you better also have some money. And she was fresh out. Her mom was a single mom raising 5 kids. The odds of my wife becoming what she is today are so incalculable, it's unimaginable. But you see, at her university, they had a scholarship program where people could give back. Because people had the vision and the foresight to give back to that program, my wife was able to attend college and then come here to the med school. Because those people understood that an educated populace is good for society, my wife has gone on to save thousands of premature babies. And the people that she's trained have saved tens of thousands of premature babies. And the people that they train, Well, I think you see where I'm going here. All because some folks had the foresight and wisdom to donate back to their university. All kids who grow up and live productive adult lives. See, scholarships don't just give back to the recipient, they give back to society as a whole. Can you imagine the return on investment if one of those kids grows up and cures cancer or Alzheimer's? Yardstick of life, at the end of the day. When the game's done, when the last die's been cast, when the last move on the chessboard's been made, the mightiest king, the lowliest pawn go in the same box. They don't take anything with them. All that remains are the memories of the deeds they've done and the life they've lived. It's because life is not about what you take. Life is about what you give. What a wonderful blurb if you give back to scholarship fund to have on your resume at the end of the day. I helped make the world a better place, even after I was gone. The students, when you leave here, the university is going to call you. When they do, they're going to want one of two things from you. They're either going to want your time or your money. In my case, they want both. Don't worry, they were mine. But for that, they let me peek behind the curtain some of the wonderful things that they do here. What I ask of you is, should you receive a call from them, before you say, nope, not this year, thanks, click, ask yourself what makes this place great. Is it Jesse Hall? Is it the columns? Is it the Union? Well, they're what we represent. They're on every postcard or calendar that we'll ever buy down here. They're not what makes this place great. I submit to you that what makes this place great are the folks like these people sitting right back here, who spent their lives trying to get you the best education they could at a high level. It's people like me that come here and spend my most precious gift, my time, my energy, to try to put a little bit more knowledge in your head before the president here kicks you out of the nest and we find out if you can really fly. It's folks like your parents, who saw the value in higher education and dreamed the dream of you walking across this stage probably before you were born. Finally, it's you. It's people like you, when they hear the bell toll their name, you stand up and be counted and pick up the torch and move it forward so that the people coming behind them have the opportunity to fly higher and faster and farther than anybody before. You see, the University of Missouri is an institution. If it's watered and fed and cared for by you, its new mentors, it's the house of stone that will live 1,000 years. You and I just pass through. But if we do our jobs, this place is forever. What I'm asking you is to do this. I'm asking you to drink one less cup of Starbucks a month to put the money aside. And should you get the call at the end of the day, if there's any money left over, please try to remember the good work we do down here, one kid at a time. From now on, when you come back here, no longer do you go away to school. I don't care what path you take in life, where it takes you, where you live. When you return here, you're not going away to get an education anymore. You come back to the University of Missouri from now on, coming home. We invented that. In closing, I want to say the following. I wish you all the joy the world can bring. Children, family, friends, 6-car garage, offshore account the Caymans, all the stuff you're supposed to have. And I know that today's message was a big message. You're not supposed to understand it yet. You can't. You haven't lived long enough. Be glad. It's going to take 30 years. By the time you understand my message, I'll be an old man. I won't have much going on anymore. That's why I'll invite you to come by and see me on the day that you see your shadow. I'd love to hear how you gave back. And I'd love to hear how you changed the world. Thank you.